Welcome back, everybody, to the greatest show on YouTube. I had to come up with that because the dumbest automotive channel was already taken. Well, had to go out on the Sabre tonight. Number one, simply because I still have like half a tank of gas left after spending the whole day on it the other day. This thing holds like 5.8 gallons from what I read on the line. And unfortunately, a lot of things that I go by is what is online, because it's a 1984 motorcycle. So finding current information on this bike is not easy. So interject and correct me in the comments if I ever say anything wrong. But I figured, what better night, it's like 70 degrees right now, than to see what the 121 horsepower, 75 foot-pounds of torque can do to get us to a nice spot to watch the sun go down. Oh my gosh, there's bugs everywhere. Good time to put down the visor. So, I don't know if you guys are like me, but if you get a bug in your eye, try not to squish it and hope that it crawls out by itself. That's the easiest thing on a motorcycle, so you don't have to stop and take your helmet out and try and get it out yourself. But yeah, I thought, man, I miss riding this. It's been 2 days. Because it rained yesterday. No, it rained. Today's Tuesday. So it rained on Sunday morning, so I couldn't ride. And then yesterday I worked and got home, I was tired, so time to go. Let's go find the sunset. But we'll talk a little bit more about this bike specifically tonight, while I try to get this bug out of my eye. That's why I don't see how people can ride without helmets. Because you get hit by bugs in the face, and you get hit by bugs in your eye, rocks, very small spaceships. Yeah, so this is a bike that I owned, but I never thought was going to be comfortable to ride for me. My inseam is 30 and the seat is like 32 and a half, I think. So I watched all the videos on YouTube telling you how to ride as a short rider, and you slide off the seat and put your foot down, only one foot down, and that's fine. That works good. But this seat on this bike is a Corbin, and it has very little padding. So it actually, I don't know what it is to the ground, but it's really not that bad for me. It doesn't have a lot of padding, and it's kind of hard, but it's not been bothering me too bad. And I've been working on the 1 foot down, keep 1 foot on the pegs deal. But a lot of times I can put 2 feet down. They might not be flat, but it really isn't a problem on this motorcycle. So being a short person out there, don't be super scared of taller bikes. I know that there are lots of other enduros and bigger bikes that are not ideal for shorter riders, but you can make it work. And this also has a rear shock conversion, and I believe it's from an 1100 Honda, but I will have to look into that and make sure that I don't give you guys wrong information. But I believe I could probably lower this another inch or so, give myself a little more reach to the ground. You know what? I got my phone, but I don't have my wallet. Well, let's hope I don't need anything while I'm out. And I don't know what we're going to get from that sunset. It's a little shady over there. A little smoky looking, but should be fun. We'll find a spot to watch it. So this can be compared to the Magna, the V65 Magna. They're both the 1100 motor, but this one was geared a little differently, I guess, but they got some more horsepower out of it. So if your Magna was sitting at 116 engine horsepower, the Sabre got about 121 from what I've gathered. And I don't know, I haven't ridden them back to back, so I haven't exactly felt the difference, but you're definitely on a different motorcycle here. This is more of a standard setup. As far as the Magna, you're on kind of a cruiser, muscle bike cruiser, and this is more of a muscle bike standard, more of a sport bike kind of setup. I might do something different with these bars because they seem a little close, maybe a little bit in. I know I can turn them out just a little bit, and that might be a little bit better for me. But I don't have long arms, along with the short legs. My arms aren't super long either. So I don't know what, I'd have to sit forward a little bit maybe if I did that. And kind of like I can sit the whole way back and still reach the bars where they're at. But as far as this bike goes, I was talking to the previous owner and I asked him, do you think this really has 77,000 miles on it? And he said it might not be the original gauges. So, well, it runs great, so whether it does have 77,000 miles or not, I don't care. It's pretty awesome. So if it's maintained and the engine purrs and runs great, doesn't skip a beat, so I'm pretty impressed with it. I love it. Hence why I've ridden it for what, 6 hours since I got it. I have noticed not having any fairing on the front. Oh, I better slow down. It's 45 through here. I'm only doing 65. Okay. There we go. Not having any fairing, you do catch a lot of wind. And that's fine. That's what it is. But out on the highway, the freeways, it's a little buffeting. But you deal with it. It's fine. It's fine. And then the other thing, and I don't know if this is a standard Sabre thing, you guys can tell me, other guys that ride them. The shocks on this, and maybe it's because of the conversion from a sport bike rear shock, but it seems like all the bumps, I feel all the bumps. My buddy Sean and I went down a back road, and yeah, it definitely took I took a beating. But again, the seat doesn't have a lot of padding. Maybe having the conversion on the rear shock doesn't help with that situation. But back in the 80s, this was, other than the Gold Wing, it was one of Honda's bigger bikes. Well guys, some of you may pick up on the fact that this is a different day, based on the fact that I have 77 and 35 miles and actually put gas in the tank and filled her up, if you can see that, and the fact that there's Pennsylvania pollen all over my bike, which I let sit out overnight. Well, the GoPro camera died. I thought the battery was charged. It was not charged. So let's hope that everything goes correctly today, because the first time I had this bike out, a giant bug splatted on the screen, and most of my footage isn't even worth posting. Unless you guys want to hear me talk and look through a bug, and that's fine. I could put it up, but I don't see that you really want to see that. But I will tell you, try and pick up where I left off talking about this Sabre, the 84 V65 Sabre, also known as the VF 1100S. Try and get my information correct this time. I just put 3.7 gallons in the tank, and I believe that is I was about half, maybe just below half on the gas tank, on the gas gauge there. So being that this has like a 5.8 gallon tank, I think they really wanted this to be a touring motorcycle. It's got a nice seating position, so you're not going to be bending over or leaning back too far for hours on end. And I reset the mileage counter to 0, so I want to see how many miles I can get somewhere in the range here. So it's nice to know when you don't have to be worried about getting gas. But this is day 2. I figured let's go out. It's really cloudy and it might rain later tonight, so we were chasing the sunset. I don't know that that's really going to happen, but we'll go to a top of that mountain somewhere. What I decided to do is go hit a road called Gold Mine Road. If you're local to Pennsylvania, you might already know that name. Seems like everybody knows it, but it's a nice little twisty and up and down the mountain, so that'll be the next video. I'm gonna put that separate. But if you want to know a little bit more about the Big Maggie here, sorry, I'm gonna have to get that out of my head. This is the Sabre, and I think we're gonna call her Sally. I don't know. If you have a better idea, there was another name floating around in my head, but I can't remember it at the moment. But like I said before, it's supposed to have 121 horsepower, 75 foot-pounds of torque, and 6 speeds in overdrive. Dual disc, dual piston brakes up top, up front. I better shift into 5th here. And then on the rear, you actually have a single disc, dual piston brake. And shaft drive, of course, on the left side. And mine has crash bars on the front. That did not come stock, but it's nice to have those. I haven't mounted any highway pegs or anything, but we'll see if that's something I want to do in the future. These mirrors are not factory, they're cheapy eBay mirrors, I'm sure. I took them off my other Sabre because this one didn't have any. So what else can I tell you? Like I said, this has 77,000 miles, but we don't know if they're original gauges. This bike runs great. So whether or not everything on it's original, we don't know. I'll get you a good look at this at some point in another video, but of course we're riding and getting into the Swatera State Park. Just love finding new trips, new roads. I mean, you can come out here and ride it every day. Just calm your nerves. If you had a bad day, just go hit the twisties. Go out in the mountains. Can you believe this? I mean, I don't have to go very far just to enjoy this. You can open up your bike as long as you're behaving. There's something about this bike. It makes me feel like a bad arse. Say that for the little ones watching. I know my nephews could be on the channel, but it just makes me feel mean. I don't know if it's the seating position. I don't know if I will change the bars. Kind of like them. If you turn up here, you go down a nice back road. I actually took that last night. It was really pretty nice. So we'll do that on another trip. But today we got to get to Gold Mine. But yeah, so the Sabre is a freaking awesome motorcycle. I'm having a blast on it. I don't know, would I recommend it to short riders? You can make it work. Would I recommend it to new riders? If you're not going to be stupid, you're not going to go out and push it too hard. It's pretty mellow. Keep it below 6,000 RPMs and you can keep it tamed. Go up above that, you're probably gonna lose it. I don't want to see you get hurt, so I would not recommend this to new riders that aren't used to controls. I'm used to controls and I really haven't used that yet. Will I someday? You betcha. But not today. But this is a good all-around cruising bike, and with the large gas tank you can get put a lot of space between you and the gas station and civilization. So anyway, we're gonna find Gold Mine Road. It's up here somewhere. And yeah, tune in to the next video, and we're gonna go up and down and back. I might stop at the top, see if I can catch the sunset. But other than that, let's open her up. You can have a lot of fun on this thing without getting yourself killed. See, this might be Gold Mine. Let's see here. Let's stop up here for a second. Yep, Gold Mine Road. All right. Oh. Again, the shocks on this thing are rough. I'm gonna stop right here. I need to make a quick phone call. Okay. Just give me a second. Tune into the next one.